Hey guys, and welcome back to another Hellfire Citadel Mythic guide. Today we're covering Iron Reaver, and with me is Sonie.
Hello.
The Iron Reaver is the second boss in Hellfire Citadel, and it's basically Siege Master Martok in a giant robot suit that you're fighting this time around.
For this encounter you will want to use 2 tanks with high mobility to deal with the mechanics of the fight. And you will also want to use 5 healers, because there's very high raid damage, and preferably healers with cooldowns such as Healing Tide and Tranquility. And lastly you will want to have 13 damage dealers.
Now the Mythic encounter for Iron Reaver has 2 changes. There is bombs in phase 1, and there are different types of bombs in phase 2, which we're going to be covering later.
This encounter has 2 phases. Phase 1 includes abilities from Heroic such as Immolation, Artillery, Unstable Orb, Barrage, Pounding and Blitz. It also has the new Mythic ability called Firebomb. Iron Reaver will launch several of the volatile firebombs at locations in the room, dealing heavy fire damage to all those within 5 yards of the impact. All bombs will explode from medium to heavy fire damage and apply a debuff, which increases firebomb damage taken by 50% for 30 seconds.
In the second phase, the boss will also still be doing Artillery, Fuel Streak together with Flash Fire, and at the end Falling Slam and then buffing herself with Energizing Fists. The new part in phase 2 are the firebombs. There's going to be 4 different types of bombs landing this time around. First off, there's quick fuse bombs. These will explode after 12 seconds, so you want to kill these really fast. Secondly, there is burning bombs. These bombs will apply a stacking debuff that increases fire damage taken to those attacking it. You don't have to do much about it, but those that taking too many stacks need to watch out for any fire damage they might take. Then there are reactive bombs. These are bombs that players can right click on to destroy them and take heavy physical damage. This will be mostly a tank job, but if players have a personal cooldown they can use right before jumping on top of it, they can also take these and help the tanks out. And lastly, there's reinforced bombs. These have a lot of health, but will only explode after 1.25 minutes, so you have a long time to kill them, and they're not the priority in this phase at all.
Because of the ability Unstable Orb, you will want to have the raid split up into 4 groups with a healer in each of them. These groups should stay spread out around the boss. When tanks are marked with artillery, they will quickly want to run to the exit of the room, and DPS will want to prioritize the bombs that spawns in phase 1.
Just like in Heroic, this phase is nearly the same with the exception of the bombs. As Sonie mentioned, prioritize these. And in phase 2, it's also nearly the same. First of all, you've already split up in 4 groups, so each group can take a quadrant to take care of the bombs. Secondly, there's a bomb priority. If you see quick fuse bombs, this is the first priority. The second priority is the burning fire bombs. And the third priority is the reinforced fire bombs. And the last in the priority list is the reactive fire bombs. DPS players do not have to DPS these at all, because tanks or other players that have a personal cooldown can jump on top of them to destroy them without having to deal any damage to them. Now once you finish phase 2, the boss will cast Falling Slam and come down on the ground again. This might happen at any position in the room, usually towards where players are. So if the boss lands, for example, at the entrance, you might want to reposition the raid towards the middle of the room and have the boss and the tanks drop their artillery at the entrance instead of the exit this time.
The debuffs in this encounter that you will want to track are the following. Artillery, so that you can move away from the raid. Flame Vulnerability, which increases fire damage taken, and you don't want to stack it too high. And Immolation.
A couple of tips and tricks for the fight are to pre-assign raid cooldowns for pounding. This is the boss's main damaging ability towards the raid, so you want to have something ready for every single one of them. And high mobility tanks are great for this fight due to the high amount of movement needed in both phase 1 and 2. This brings us to the end of the Iron Reaver Mythic guide. We hope you learned something and you enjoyed the video.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like and subscribe.